I want to welcome you back to the D-Lo Show. I am your host, Ryan D-Lo Delosier. Today's episode, we're going to do an update episode right here. It's going to feel a little different, though. Usually, in true crime, the name of the perpetrator becomes a household word. It's on every headline, every thumbnail, and every court document. But as we move further into 2026, there's a growing movement led by the families of the victims to strip that notoriety away. So, for the duration of this episode, I am going to honor that notoriety by I'm going to take away by the fact that we're going to be taking that away, and I won't be using the name. I'm going to say it once: Brian Koberger. I'll be referring to him only by his identity that he has left in the eyes of the state of Idaho. Inmate number 163214. 163214. The man, formerly known by his name, is now a 31-year-old resident of the Idaho Maximum Security Installation in Kuna. He is serving 4 fixed life terms for the murders of Madison Mogan, Alivea Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. But while he sits in a cell, the world outside is reeling. This past week has been a firestorm of activity, from the massive, inadvertent leak of graphic crime scene photos by the state police to a brand new bill in the Idaho Senate designed to protect the dignity of the deceased. So today, as I record this episode, we're going to review the gruesome details that have finally come to light, and the diva behavior that's been reported from inside the prison walls, and the high-stakes legislative battle that could change true crime reporting forever. So to understand where we are today, we have to look at what happened on January 20th of this year, 2026. Under the Idaho Public Records Act, the state of Idaho Police, the Idaho State Police, believed they were legally obligated to release thousands of documents and images of the 1122 King Road investigation. They posted thousands of redacted images to their website. But as we know, when you're dealing with that much data, mistakes happen. One of those images inadvertently failed to redact a portion of the body of one of the victims. The ISP quickly pushed to have those images taken down. But in the digital age, quickly just isn't fast enough. The photos were taken out. Christy Goncalves, Kaylee's mother, went on the Brian Enton Investigates podcast this week, and her pain was palpable. She said through tears, the crime scene photos were bad. They were bad. On January 30th, she posted a fiery message on Facebook, FUBK. I wish Steve could have 1 minute in that cell with him. 1 minute, that's all it would take. The families were given only a 12-minute heads up before these photos were released. Think about that. You get a call at 11:04 a.m. By 11:16 a.m., the world can see the worst moment of your life. And what did those photos show? What do the unsealed autopsies tell us? We now know the Idaho 4 suffered a combined total, as I've mentioned earlier, of 150 stab wounds. This wasn't a quick or clean event. Inmate number 163214 unleashed a level of violence that is too hard to process. Xana Kernodle, who we've long suspected fought back, suffered approximately 67 stab wounds. Now, why is it approximately? How do they not know? Because sometimes those wounds may re-enter the same spot where a stabbing had already happened. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome. So at least 67. The evidence suggests she was moving around her room, desperately trying to fend off the attack. The leaked photos show blood on the bottoms of her feet and dripping down the sides of her bed. Ethan Chapin was found on the floor in the same room. He was stabbed 17 times. The reports detail wounds to his upper chest, his scalp, his face, and his neck. This is the level of detail. The 3,000 photos, the knife gashes in the mattress is what the families are now fighting to keep private. They are reminding the public that murder isn't entertainment and crime scene photos aren't content. So this brings us to the most significant legal development since the sentencing. This is Senate Bill 1250. This is proposed by Idaho Senate Minority Leader Melissa Winthrow and heavily supported by Alivea Goncalves. This bill aims to create a legal exemption that would prevent the public release of photos showing a descendant's body under the Idaho Public Records Act. Alivea has been the driving force here. She delivered a powerful victim impact statement at the sentencing in July 2025. And now she's working to ensure that the next family facing their worst nightmare doesn't have to see their loved one's trauma blasted across the internet. Winthrow says the bill is about giving families a sense of control. Right now, Idaho's laws are a bit of the gray area, which is why the ISP felt they had to release those photos in January. SB 1250 would make these images exempt from disclosure unless the family members themselves request them. Even the Idaho Press Club, which usually fights for transparency, is not opposing this. They believe it strikes the balance between protecting the privacy and dignity of the descendants while preserving transparency on other aspects of investigations. It's a turning point. We are seeing the true crime boom hit a wall of human decency. The families of Madison Mogan and Ethan Chapin already successfully sued the city of Moscow over photo releases last year. They are making it clear the public's right to know ends at the edge of a victim's body. But the legal battles aren't just about photos. This week, an explosive 126-page lawsuit was filed in Skagit County, Washington, by the parents of all 4 victims. They are suing Washington State University, that's WSU, for negligence and wrongful death. The allegations are staggering. The complaint claims that WSU was well aware of inmate number 163214's threatening, stalking, and predatory behavior long before November 13th, 2022. According to the lawsuit, there were more than a dozen formal complaints raised by students and staff. The family argues that by hiring him as a teaching assistant and allowing his behavior to continue unchecked, the university made a predictable tragedy possible. If these allegations hold up in court, it means the system failed these 4 students long before a white Elantra ever turned onto King Road. And where is inmate number 163214 while this is happening? He is sitting in his cell in Kuna, Idaho. Reports from prison insiders describe him as a diva. He's complaining about the food, complaining about the isolation, and making threats of self-harm whenever he doesn't get his way. There is a profound irony in a man who inflicted 150 wounds on 4 innocent people, now demanding dignified treatment from the state. The judge recently ordered him to pay additional money to the victims' families, but there's a loophole. Currently, he could still legally profit from a book or movie deal in the future. This is something Idaho lawmakers are also looking at, ensuring that number 163214 never makes a dime off the tragedy that he caused. So as we wrap up this episode, as I get down to the end of what I'm going to cover today, our update for the week, I want to go back to what Christy Goncalves, the mother of Kaylee Goncalves, said this week. She started the heartbreaking process of going through Kaylee's things, the boxes and tubs that have been sealed since 2022. She's looking for simple things: an orange Sublime t-shirt, a black Death Row Records shirt, and the outfit Kaylee was wearing that night. This is the reality. While the legal world debates SB 1250 and the lawsuits against universities, a mother is sitting in the bedroom in Rathdrum, Idaho, smelling her daughter's old clothes. The man in the cell in Kuna is just a number: 16, 32, 14. He doesn't get a name anymore. He doesn't get a platform. The names that matter are Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I want to thank you for joining me on this update of the D-Lo Show, going back to the Idaho 4, one of my cases that I got into early on. I was following this before, way back in the day when it first came out. I followed it as it got released, as it happened. It was very interesting in the true crime world when it came about, and true crime is not entertainment, but it's interesting. I think a lot of times too. It's not a you can watch Law and Order or things like that are not necessarily, they are drama. This is not. This is the real deal. This is how it works. Sometimes it's how the things go. And I think a lot of us got to see and got to follow along and see how the wheels of justice travel. They're slow, but they do eventually get to a point of where where our system makes people pay the price for the penalties that they do. And if you're innocent, then you're innocent. And you are innocent until proven guilty. But if you're guilty, the legal system, the wheels of justice, as we go through this slow process, it will determine that as well, too. And it found out very quickly from a man who swore that he was innocent and looking forward to being exonerated, is now inmate number 163214. And he went in, and this gentleman went in, and he decided to plead guilty to save his life, even though he took the lives of 4 others. But because of the gruesomeness of this, I have a feeling that if this did go to trial like it was supposed to in July of 2025, we would be sitting on a death row panel and probably into the appeals for his death row trial by now. So it's one of the ones I really like to go back and follow, and I like to look and see how things are as papers are coming out, as things are coming out. A lot of this stuff would have came out in trial, and now it's coming out now. So I think I'm grateful for the families that it did come out now. I think some of the impact was different than what would have happened had there been a trial. So I guess we could be thankful for that we didn't go to trial. But I know that there are others who would have really have liked to seen him pay the ultimate price. So thank you. Thanks again for listening. I will try to keep you posted on this stuff, but the D-Lo Show, beyond the name, 163214. This episode is done. Go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your grandma, grandpa, tell them all. The D-Lo Show is here. I'm going to keep rolling these episodes out. Hope you keep enjoying them. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.